hit. Button has been hit. There we go. Uh-oh. Here we go.
You know, I can't believe that this has worked for me today, guys. We are out here in Tennessee, the new headquarters and grand opening of Smith & Wesson in Maryville, Tennessee. Maryville. I'll get it by the end of the day. We'll see. But we've got live music happening over there. There's food trucks. There's booths all over the place. And, of course, thank you for watching. You're with Gun Talk. And inside the Gun Talk trailer, KJ is with a living legend, Jerry Miculek.
Hey, Ryan, before you sign off here, if you had one question you could ask Jerry Miculek, what would you ask him?
Oh, I got to say, my question would be, Jerry, which is more important, grip, sights, or trigger when shooting?
Trigger.
Trigger. All right, trigger. Trigger trumps everything.
He says trigger trumps everything. Don't worry about anything.
Don't worry about anything else.
So why is that?
You can have a perfect sight picture. If you've got a bad trigger pull, you're not going to hit a thing. Take the wobble.
I mean...
Take the wobble, trigger the shot.
Really?
Take the wobble, trigger the shot. 50% of the time, you're going through the middle.
Really?
If it's wobbling, 50% of the time, it's passing through the target zone.
That's a good... Man, that's something you don't think about?
That's a 50-50 average right there.
And we're all getting 50% better just by watching this. Thank you guys for watching. I'm with Jerry Miculek, and we're at the Smith & Wesson grand opening here in Maryville, Tennessee. Yep. And you came all the way up from Louisiana.
Yes, sir. Yep.
How was it?
It was a good drive.
Good drive, yeah.
I had wife and daughter with me, so it was entertaining.
I bet it's always entertaining on the road with the Miculeks. What is life like on the road with you guys?
It's pretty boring. I mean, I'm a monotone. You know, I'm a workaholic.
Yeah, that is true.
I really am. You know, so I'm bad about taking time off for myself or the family. Yeah. And now that I'm getting older, I do more family-oriented stuff. And
that's good. That's a good thing to start taking hold of. And and the facilities here are absolutely phenomenal. Have you gotten to walk through the headquarters yet, or because I know they've kind of just opened it? And
I got here the other day. I went to a practice range for a few minutes, and then I went right into that demo yesterday. And then did a demo today. They don't let me play.
They don't let you go play on the assembly line. We're not quite there yet. But so let's talk about the demo yesterday. You were going up for you were attempting a world record.
Right. Yep.
So what was it?
Well, it's a Guinness Book of Records. Mm-hmm. Anytime I see a record posted, I get interest in it. So it was a plate rack at 7 yards, the Bianchi plate rack, 8-inch targets, 1 foot edge to edge.
Okay.
6 of them from the holster. I did it from the Surrender. The previous record was a 2.05.
Held by?
With the pistol.
Okay.
And I on my first run, I did a 201 with the revolver.
With a revolver. So this is a optic on top of the revolver.
Yeah.
But again, he says it doesn't matter. The sights don't matter. It's all about the trigger pull.
Trigger.
That's it.
Think trigger.
How do you keep up with this? Because normally you think this is a young man's game, but it is absolutely 100%.
Well, flat running and gunning is different. But standing flat foot, if you got a good trigger pull, you might be competitive.
So how did you gain the ability to shoot so fast? I mean, years of pulling the trigger obviously help, but
right. I'm a very bad pistol shooter. It was loud. If you'd have saw me shoot my first handgun, you'd have said, "Why did you even buy that thing, man? Go trade that off on a bicycle or a golf club or something. Get rid of it." So to me, it was a big challenge to learn how to shoot fast.
Right.
So I came through the circuit. I've never taken a class anywhere. I've never went to.
You've probably taught millions.
And I say that because nobody does what I do.
Right.
So I just went do. I bought stuff and I went do.
Really.
And just I'll go do this for. And I figured, well, this isn't right. Let's do this. And then I just did this and just evolved. And to me, shooting fast has been a challenge because it's like anything in racing. It's very innovative.
Oh yeah.
There's no perfect score.
Yeah.
You can only get better.
You can only go up.
Yeah,
or down.
So to me, the challenge was I was always wanting to go a little faster. How can I do this a little quick vision technique? And that's what I really enjoy doing is exploring the vision techniques it takes to shoot fast.
Right.
And if you go to an instructor and he can't tell you how to see fast.
Okay. So Jerry Miculek is slowly blowing my mind here. So how do you see fast?
Exactly.
Like, explain this to me, because
some people cannot see fast.
Right.
And they'll never be fast because they can't. They're looking too hard. They try to look at one spot too hard.
Okay.
So the ability to learn how to soft focus and see multiple targets and engage them as one is you'd be surprised how much vision you see all the time, but you're not using.
Okay. I can start grasping this concept. So when you walk up to a plate rack,
right,
you're just looking at a plate rack.
Yeah.
You're not looking at 6 individual targets that you have to take down. You're looking at, okay, this is my target.
Yeah. A lot of times I'm looking off somewhere else.
Okay.
I don't want to look hard at the first target.
Right. So you're kind of staring off, and then you start acquiring.
I'll find another spot to look.
Okay.
So you don't want to ever get locked in on your vision, so you want to keep it real flat and open. So I'll look around and I'll find something that maybe interests me, and I'll get ready to shoot. I'll just open up and get really flat.
So a giant buck walks out. Are you doing the same thing? Are you sitting there going, oh my gosh, I got to calm this. I got to look somewhere else real quick. All right, I'm going to go back to it. There he is. Bam. Are you doing the same thing?
Well, you do. You do it instinctively. Once you know how to see, you can recall it. It's going to be automatic.
Right.
So when I walk up on a stage of fire, say I'm walking to a stage of fire, and there's 3 targets, say 5 yards away, this close, automatically my brain says I'm going to shoot every 1700ths of a second.
Really?
It just says that. So the trigger pull is not even thought about anymore. The gun comes out, you start shooting.
Right.
I just watch it, and I go to the next set. If you try to drive it, you'll get real choppy. So you just you view it happening, and you take the trigger pull out. When I started shooting, I don't even feel the trigger anymore. It's not my responsibility.
Right.
My responsibility is to see where I'm going.
Okay.
Because it's going to shoot.
Right.
Thing's going to shoot.
So when you're transitioning to that next target, I mean you're probably like 7 targets ahead of everybody else. When you're transitioning, because you're doing a lot of things. Your trigger pull is second nature. Your body's got to go where your eyes go.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on there that I think people see. You make it look easy, but when they try to apply it, it's nearly impossible.
Well, they haven't had not enough repetitions.
Okay.
If you walk into an office where there's a secretary has been typing for 40 years, she'll talk to you, drink a cup of coffee, and type and put paper. You know what I mean? Just like that's 40 years of on the keys.
Miss a beat.
Right, because she's been there, done that. And without the hours, you have to put hours to get repetitive.
Yep.
In anything. And then you can start playing games.
Okay.
You know what you
to test yourself. And
right. You say, well, I'm going to add this spectrum to it. Or I'm going to add this. I'm going to do this while I'm doing that, and let's see what happens. And
oh my gosh.
You know, so you start adding challenges in there. When I shot that record, what I was really proud of, between all my splits, there was only 1/100th of a second difference. That's how perfect.
No kidding.
It was 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, 0.21, 0.2. And that's what I wanted to do. So
you visualize it beforehand.
You break the first shot. Everything on that performance was first shot, and I just shoot 20 splits. You know,
it's that easy, folks.
I just call it getting the gun running.
Yeah.
It's going to run at 20. So I go, okay, I look at that 20. I'm going to set a 20 in my head.
Are you running these guns, the guns that you're running?
Yeah.
What are you running currently?
This was a prototype gun that I hand built.
Okay.
It started off as a 327 R8.
Okay.
Took the Magnum cylinder out. I hand fitted a titanium 9mm cylinder. I had Barstow arms years ago. Made me some barrel liners, 9mm, 10 twist, 3.56 diameter bores.
Okay.
And I put them in there and had it quadruported by Magnaport. So I built the gun the way I wanted to have a race gun. It's a very lightweight gun, so it's fast out of the holster, and you can start and stop it real quick.
Okay.
But if you rough on the trigger, it'll smother you.
Really?
It's like a bow without a stabilizer.
Yep.
You get a bad release, a lightweight gun is just like having a bow without a stabilizer or driving your car with slick tires.
Yep.
You have to be Johnny on the spot, pull that trigger straight back through the cycle.
So there's so much. There is so much knowledge being dropped here with Jerry Miculek. It's unbelievable because I'm thinking about the applications and how I apply it to my shooting. Everything.
Yep.
Is the gun that you're running now, .2 splits? Is that as fast as that gun will go?
Oh,
have you reached the?
No, you could go. When I did my record, I was shooting 1400s.
1400s.
Right.
Is that as fast as it'll go?
That's as fast as I can go.
As you can go.
That was my limit.
Mean, that's as fast as the gun will go. Yeah. He just answered it by saying that.
No. The guns can go a lot faster. My finger, when I was really training for rapid fire, 14s, I've had some 12s, but not many.
God, that's fast.
14s, when I shot my 8-shot record, they were all 14s.
Really?
Yeah. 8 shots, 1400 split.
That's unbelievable.
So.
So what do you have next on the plate? I mean, because going from the Smith & Wesson grand opening, it's fall here. This is the kind of the fall festival.
Right.
Maybe making it into something, like a yearly deal. What's on the docket for you?
I'm going hunting.
He said, "Well, we had talked about it before we got on the air, and it's hunting season, and that's what we're all looking forward to.
Right.
So, what gun does Jerry Miculek take hunting, and what is the trigger? What optic are you running?
Well, I shot some deer last year with a 6 arc.
Okay,
works really good. Smith & Wesson makes one in their volunteer series. That 6 arc is probably an underappreciated cartridge.
Oh yeah.
I've seen deer at 400 yards go to it.
No kidding.
I never fire unless I'm 100% sure of everything. I don't have to make a shot. I'm not starving to death.
Right.
You know what I mean? No. I really appreciate what I'm hunting.
Yeah.
I don't want to cripple anything. When I make the shot, I want to make it as surgical. So when I pull the trigger, it's either going to be 10 feet or it's going to be laying right there when I pull the trigger.
Right there.
I don't want it to go anywhere. If it doesn't line up, I don't have to shoot.
So I have to ask this question. So if you're using a volunteer series and that's a AR platform.
Yeah.
Do you ever have to speak to your trigger finger and say one shot? Just one shot.
Well, to me, when I get amped up, that finger gets amped up.
Right.
So when I get in a situation, that's a good question.
Right.
So what I try to do when I get really juiced like that, I go like I want to feel it.
Okay.
I want to feel it. That's what I was just thinking. Just and then when you get that realism back to the end of your finger, it'll self.
Right.
It'll shoot itself.
It'll shoot itself.
Instead of slapping
it. Yeah. Because I can only imagine like when you're hunting. Is having to call that finger off. Unless it's a group of hogs, then they're all dead. No, how do you so how do you do that? The feral hog population out of control. We want to kill all of them we can. Group of hogs walks up. Are they just all dead when they walk up?
We had a good hunt out of a side by side. A guy called it a hoopty hunt. And
I like the name of that.
We were running through a pasture and we'd get up on a bunch of hogs. I was on point on the front with my 5.56.
Yeah.
And we got 16 of them pretty quick.
Pretty quick. Probably under like 5 seconds if you want like real numbers.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's really hard. It's for people who haven't really witnessed what a feral hog does to property.
Yeah.
They came on my property where I live on the range.
Those are the dumbest hogs in the States.
Devastated my front yard and broke a water pipe. I got up in the
Really?
morning. I went to the sink. No water pressure.
Really?
So I went down to the well house. I got on my buggy, went down to the well house. The pump was running wide open. I came back. The hogs had came through my yard, destroyed my front yard. I mean, it looked like you've seen what they did.
Oh yeah, it's devastating.
Was all tore up, and I looked over there, and there's water gushing out of the ground. They broke one of the faucets off.
Gotta be kidding me, jeez.
So and that's just small stuff because the farmers, they have to
They're
replant.
mass.
Some places they have to replant several times, and then they still can't harvest because they come through there. So if you don't actually see what they do, it sounds brutal shooting them to get them out of there. But there's really no other method.
How else do you control a population?
Right,
It's all about control.
Yeah. So.
Jeez, that's amazing.
They want them off the property,
Yeah.
So.
We want them all gone. Get them all out of here. Bring in more whitetail. That's all we want. That's all Jerry and I want. Is that too much to ask? Well, Jerry, thank you so much for coming on with us here at Gun Talk Live.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And before we get out of here, we're going to have Jerry sign. This is a giveaway that we're doing over the whole show. So, there it is. All right. There's our gold Sharpie. So pick a spot, and at the end of this, if you're out there commenting, and every comment is an entry to win. So you guys are ready to go. You're entered to win. The legend has just signed it. We got a lot of great folks on here, but you guys be well, Jerry. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks for having me. Always fun.
Oh, man, his grip's even strong. So, all right, guys. You guys have a good one. We'll be right back with more Gun Talk Live.
Thanks for watching Gun Talk Live. For more great gun content, subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages. You can always watch the Gun Talk channels on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon. And of course, you can always find us at guntalk.com. Thanks for watching.